Welcome to Intuitive Flow. I'm your host, Mikaela Filar, intuitive energetic healer, medium, entrepreneur, and mindset mentor with a mission to help you step into your fullest potential by giving you the tools to rid yourself of limiting beliefs, love yourself unconditionally, and create the reality that you dream of living. It is time to transform your mindset, get unstuck, and step into the highest frequency version of yourself who has unshakable confidence. I am even answering your juiciest questions regarding all things intuition, manifestation, personal development, self-love, self-image, and helping you work through your dilemmas, intuitively guiding you to expand your mindset and level up in life. So turn up the volume and get excited for this intuitive flow. Hey guys, welcome back to Intuitive Flow with Mikaela Filar. Today we are going to be chatting all about aligned friends. Okay. So this question that I got from my website if you don't know this, you can ask whatever question you want answered anonymously through my website. Just hit the tab that says podcast and then you'll see where to insert your questions there. Okay. So if you want your questions answered, input them. Okay. But this question is, how did you find your girl gang aligned to you? I lost most of my friends a few years ago and it's been lonely. Girl, I get it. I have been there and I understand completely what it's like to feel like your friends, maybe that you've had for a really long time, are no longer aligned with who you are now or who you desire to become. And your friend group is really important, right? What's that saying? Like you become the 5 people that you hang around the most or something like that. You guys understand what I'm saying. You're picking up what I'm putting down. But it's important, but also in that time where you basically kind of distance yourself from your friends who are no longer aligned with you and are in search of your new friend group or people who you are deciding that you do want to hang out with, you're kind of in this lull of well, I'm spending a lot of time alone. And here's the thing with that. So from personal experience, I went through a phase where basically I had no friends. And that was because I was working 14 to 16-hour days. It was absolutely insane. I was bartending, I was teaching fitness, I was a personal trainer, I was also managing a gym. It was absolutely insane. I was working way too much. And then COVID hit and I got into my network marketing. I really dove into my network marketing business, which I had already started before COVID, but that's besides the point. And in network marketing, you make a huge amount of friends, obviously, because it's all about networking and it's all about your girl gang. And it's all about, the circle of people who are building a business that you are building and you all can work together and you have these work events for network marketing. And it was so fun. And I will not lie, I absolutely love that about network marketing. The friendships that you make through building that business is really awesome. And I will say, however, so I did network marketing for 4 years. And when I stopped doing it, a lot of those friendships kind of just fell to the side. And obviously, it was because I wasn't going to the events. I wasn't going to all the places where I would see these friends. I wasn't working the business anymore. So, obviously, and they are, and we would all get together and we would work together. So it was just a little different. And so our friendships just kind of didn't go away. I'm still friends with these people, but I'm not as close as I once was with them. Right. And so we go through these seasons where I had no friends. And then I had a bunch of friends from network marketing. And then I went through another phase where I had what felt like no friends again. I've got somebody who I've been friends with since literally second grade. Her name is Alyssa. We've been best friends since second grade. She doesn't live in California. She does live in California, but she doesn't live close. So I don't see her all the time, but we keep in contact via text. I go out and visited her. She comes and visits me and all whatever. Okay. So I've got some core one-on-one friendships, right? But it's not a bunch of a group, right? My boyfriend, Bryson, he has this group of friends that he has had his entire life, and they have all been friends. They grew up playing baseball together, and they still hang out to this day. all with girlfriends now. Some are married, some have kids. Like, it's crazy to me. But everything is for a reason. And why I'm saying this is like everyone's story is different. But for me, I have like my high school friends, they're all kind of like separate now, right? Because we all went and did separate things and we are all evolving and growing and becoming different versions of ourselves, right? So it's important to like honor and like understand that like we're all growing, we're all evolving, we all change, we all have different seasons of our lives where we're going to attract different friend groups. Like, for example, when I did get into a relationship with Bryson, my friend group became his friend group. And so now I have another extension of friends where I have all of his friends, girlfriends, and we're all friends. We have like a group chat and we chat and all things. And it's awesome. I'm hosting a like pumpkin paint night for Halloween next weekend. But I've also got like a girlfriend from out of town coming in that same weekend where I met her when I lived in Costa Mesa. And so she was like a Costa Mesa friend. And I was like, just come and meet new people and it'll be fun. And she's like, I'm down. So her and her boyfriend are coming and staying the weekend and going to meet all of like my new extension of friends. Okay. So why I'm explaining this is because we have seasons of our lives where, we have groups of friends or sometimes the friendships don't dissipate, but like we just distance ourselves from them because they're just not in alignment with where we are currently or where we are desiring to go. So just because you're like not in alignment with a current friend doesn't mean that you need to like never talk to them again and it needs to be some like terrible thing. But it's okay to distance yourself from people who you feel are not helping you get to where you desire to go or are not going to the same place. It's in some way, shape, or form, right? Like I know that my boyfriend's friends are not building businesses and in the career vocation aspect, but I do know that they are all in committed relationships where their relationship is obviously very important to them and like building that connection between like their significant other's friend group is important to them. So like we're on the same page as far as that goes. And that's why we're all interconnected and becoming closer, right? Because that's like of high value to us. That's like a core value. We want to become friends with the people who our significant others' friends are with, right? I hope that made sense. But we all have these different like seasons. And so I have had seasons where I truly spent a lot of time alone and I didn't have a lot of friends. Or maybe I just had one friend that I like kind of connected with and like we just kind of kept in touch. But then I moved away. So like things didn't align anymore. And so the friendship kind of like fizzled away, right? Like that's happened too. A lot of times what I've figured out is like, when I'm in a relationship, it's not that I don't go and hang out with my single friends. It's just like it doesn't happen as much. And there, I feel like is a stigma around oh, you're no fun anymore because you have a boyfriend and like you never go out and blah, blah, blah. But I'm past that point. Like, if I have a friend who was to say that to me, I'd be like, really? Like, how old are we? Right? Like, I'm past that point. But if you're not past that point, maybe you have friends, maybe you're a little younger and you have friends who put a like emphasis on having to hang out every week. Like my friend Alyssa, for example, we've been friends since second grade, but I haven't talked to her in months. But like I know when we do hang out or when we do talk, it'll be like I see her every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how good and solid our friendship is. And I mean, not to say that we've never had ups and downs. We definitely have. But like we both know how important that friendship is to each other, right? So with all of that being said, I have a girl gang, but like it's not like we all hang out together, like all of my friends together in one spot. Like I have one friend over here, I've got one friend over there, I've got one friend over here, and then I've got Bryson's boys, girlfriends right over here. And I just kind of like am a little social butterfly who hops around from group to group to group to group to group. And when I didn't have those friend groups, like I don't beat myself up about it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not my main focus. My main focus, obviously, yes, is to create strong connections. And also it's to focus on, like, in the time where I didn't have friends, I really knew that I needed to focus and take time on myself. And around the time where I didn't have a lot of friends, I kind of purposely put myself in the little, cocoon of, like, I'm focusing on myself right now. I just really need some space. And I don't have time to, like, go out and be at every event and be a part of everything because I'm not doing well mentally and all the things. Like, that's who I was in a moment of time in my past before like really when I started the beginning of this work that I now live, breathe, and teach. So if you are desiring to attract aligned friend groups or friendships in general, it doesn't need to be a group, right? I want you to start to ask yourself, like, visualize and really paint a picture of, like, who this person is that you're desiring to attract. I would almost even use, like, manifest the guide that I made on how to manifest your dream relationship. You could also use that to manifest your dream friendships. No, you definitely can. So if that's something that's, like, on your heart, that you are desiring to attract more aligned friendships, then get, like, clear on who that is and what those friendships look like. And then also, like, put yourself out there. You're not going to make new friends by staying in all the time. You're not going to make new friends by not joining the group chats. I have made so many friends from the online space and the online community that I've created with Instagram because I put myself in spaces that are like mastermind groups, right? That are like intuition training. I've got like a whole group of intuition besties, and then I've got a whole group of like business mastermind besties. Now I have another group of business mastermind besties that I'm like putting myself in these rooms where I am desiring to aspire to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm aspiring to be a successful entrepreneur. So I'm going to put myself in rooms with people in the online community who are desiring to become successful entrepreneurs. If I want to have a group of friends who I can just like vibe out and talk to about all the spiritual woo-woo intuition witchy stuff that I love to talk about, then I'm going to put myself in intuition training and into groups of women who are desiring to strengthen their intuition. I'm also cultivating this online community on my Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, on this podcast, right? Where I'm putting myself out there, sharing my life experiences and attracting like these people who are desiring to learn from me, and we become friends. Like I end up becoming friends with my clients, right? Because I truly genuinely care. It's all about putting yourself out there. And like I'm not saying if you so like let's say if you're desiring, like for me for instance, I am like done meeting people out at like bars and stuff, so I will go and put myself in spaces where there are events that like I know are more my speed. Like for instance, I went to this, what's the your it's like dancing. I totally am spacing on what the term is for it, but it's where you go to the beach and you like dance in the sand and there's a DJ and you have the headphones that literally look like the ones that I'm wearing right now, and you just dance but you've got the music in the headphones. So anyways, I went to this event. It was in LA and I met some really down to earth, obviously, like people who are into similar things that I'm into. And what that does is put me in a space where I'm meeting new friends. And I made two new friends that day because I went to that event, because I went to it with one of my friends from Costa Mesa who her name was Nikki. We actually just hung out. She came here and visited me last weekend and we had so much fun. But she's like super into the spiritual community and, just very aligned with me and what I teach. And I love talking. I love the conversations that we have together. But where I was going with that was like, she was the one who was like, hey, we should go to this event. It's this dance event. It's on the beach. This is what I'm wearing, but I'm having a few other girlfriends come, like, just come. And so I met them there and I met all these new people and now I have all these new friends. So it's truly about going out and like doing things that you feel that that light you up, that are exciting to you. And because they light you up and they're exciting to you, people who are on the same frequency as you are going to show up to those events too, right? So that is how I would put myself out there and create a new aligned group of friends if I was desiring to like attract more friends. I've gotten to the point in my life because this is something that I used to actually like dwell on. Like, why don't I have a lot of friends? Like, I had a lot of friends and then like they dropped off. Am I a bad friend? It made me question myself, right? And that's like the last thing that you want to do is start to question yourself. Like, you're not a bad friend. I don't care what anybody said to you. That's more of a reflection of themselves than it is of you. It doesn't mean anything about you unless you let it mean something about you, right? So first of all, like, get rid of that and just know that like friends change in the seasons of our lives, right? Like, when you have a kid, you're not going to be having a whole lot of going out time with your single friends who don't have kids, right? You're going to probably spend more time with people who are married and have kids if you're married and have kids. It's just the way that life goes. So we'll go through these seasons where we have a lot of friends, where we don't have a lot of friends, or we have a lot of friends, or we have maybe one or two friends and we're like super close with these friends for like a few years. And then like we distance ourselves from those relationships because they're no longer in alignment with who we are becoming. And that's okay, right? It's okay to ebb and flow in our friendships, right? So if you are desiring to align and attract more aligned friendships with incredible women, put yourself out there, get into spaces where you wouldn't originally like go. Like, maybe it like made you feel a little uncomfortable. Like, the idea of it, maybe it's just like, I don't putting myself out there, or I don't want to go alone. Like, I would go alone. If I saw something that like I knew I would meet people who are like me and I was trying to make new friends, I would go alone. I would go to the beach alone. And then also like not being afraid of like going up to somebody and be like, hey, I'm Mikaela, or hey, I'm whatever your name is. And I just moved here, or I'm actually like trying to find new friends and like I would love to hang out. Like, can we connect on Instagram and we should grab coffee sometime, right? Like, I did that all the time when I was in Costa Mesa. I would go to Pilates and I would like go out of my way to be like, okay, I'm going to make a new friend today. And I would go up to people and I would introduce myself and I would be like, let's be friends on Instagram and maybe grab some coffee later this week. And they would either say yes, or never had anybody say no to me. Usually people are really fucking excited about just making new friends because the stigma around it is like, the older you get, the harder it is to make new friends. And that's just not true. Like, I have the majority of people who I am friends with now. I'm 32 years old, and the majority of people who I am friends with now are all people who I've met within the last year or two, right? So, yeah, like, take that for what it is, but do with that what you please. But moral of the story here is, it is possible to make new friends, and you just have to be willing to get uncomfortable by putting yourself out there, introducing yourself to people who you feel are on the same frequency as you, into the same things as you. And you can like treat your friendships just like you would treat a date, or like somebody who you're going to date, like go to coffee with them, feel out the vibe, see if the communication is good, see if the vibe is there, right? And if it is, then ask them to hang out again. If it isn't, then you never have to see them again. You guys could just be social media friends. Like, it's not the end of the world, right? Go out there, find your aligned friendships, get uncomfortable, put yourself out there. And I hope this helped. And if it did, make sure you go ahead and leave me a 5-star rating and review. If you're listening to this on YouTube, hi, and please like and subscribe and share this with a friend. You guys, take a screenshot, share it with your Instagram story, tag me. I love to retag you guys, and all the things. So, one more thing before we leave. Aligned as fuck, which is actually kind of goes into what we're just talking about, the topic of what we're just talking about, finding aligned friendships. If you want aligned friendships and like seeing the reflections for what they are, like if you are losing friends left and right, that's a reflection. If you want to know how that's a reflection, make sure you sign up for Aligned as Fuck. If you are desiring to, maybe you've got a friend right now who's like being a mirror to you and making you feel a certain way, then that's a reflection. If you want to know how that's a reflection, make sure you sign up for Aligned as Fuck. You guys, Aligned as Fuck is seriously, I'm just so excited to geek out on the topic of reflections. It's 4 weeks long, 5 pre-recorded modules, because you get a bonus module on intuition. We get a live Q&A at the end. Doors are closing November 1st. Okay. So if you are interested in learning how to get aligned with your highest timeline and become a magnet for your desires and quantum leap you into the reality that you are desiring to be in, then Aligned as Fuck is for you. Reflections are the cheat code to life. They help you condense years and years and years and years of struggling with the same lesson into a matter of months, because you're able to see the reflection for what it is, shift it, heal it, and move forward so that you can literally quantum leap, like I said, into that different higher timeline and different reality that you're desiring to create for yourself. So I'm super excited to geek out on reflections for you guys, and I hope to see you guys inside. And thank you so much for tuning in. I love you. I appreciate you. And as always, we will chat soon. Bye.